My story starts very young in that I had the opportunity to go to Catholic schools and had sisters and priests for my teachers all the way through school. And so between that and my mom also was in a religious community before she was married, and so religious life was a really big part of my life growing up. It was very normal to be around sisters and priests, which is a great blessing. And I was always very attracted to their life and thought that maybe God might be calling me to that, but didn't give it a lot of real thought until when I was in high school and getting into college. That attraction was still there, but the reality of the sacrifices that would be required of following that call, if God would be calling me to that, became more real. And so I kind of shied away from the idea of discernment. And God gave me a great gift in a priest of our diocese who invited me to come talk to him about discernment when I was in college. And he surprised me in our first few meetings that he didn't actually talk about discernment with me at all. He talked much more about prayer and helped me to learn how to pray and to develop a relationship with Jesus. And for me, that was life-changing, learning how to be silent and to be in front of Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament laid a huge foundation for my ability to be able to hear his voice in my call to religious life. And so he encouraged me to go on a discernment retreat with our community. And I had grown up with our sisters, being taught and having them as principals for me growing up. And so I knew our sisters very well. And there was something in me that was kind of resistant to going on a retreat here. But Father encouraged me to go very strongly. And so I did go on a discernment retreat with our community. And it was on that retreat that I was finally able to kind of let my guard down. We had nocturnal adoration, so during the retreat we were able to get up for an hour of adoration during the night. It was really striking because the chapel was totally dark except for 2 lights that were shining on the monstrance, but aside from that the whole chapel was dark, and we were able to kneel right in front of the Blessed Sacrament. And so it was during that time of adoration that I kind of just poured out my heart to him, and I asked him, what do you want me to do, and why aren't you telling me what you want me to do? And in that quiet that followed asking that question, having this realization that I knew all along that I was called to be a religious sister, and I kept pushing it to the back burner. The priest that I was meeting with coined the phrase that I was open to religious life, but hoping I wouldn't be, so open but not hoping. And so I was just trying to be open to God's voice, but I was desperately hoping he wouldn't be calling me here. But in that time of adoration and asking him, like, just tell me what you want, being able to hear that really quiet voice of, you know what you're called to do, and I'm going to provide the grace for you to do it. And so after that retreat, I had a lot of strength and grace to be able to move forward, and I continued to meet with Father, but also visited other communities and talked with the Vocation director for our community, Sister Mary Michael, and she was a great help in helping me to know what to do next and the next best step for me. And so after that retreat, I spent more intentional time in prayer, and also spent more time with our community, with a few other communities, trying to see where God wanted me to be. But it was another instance where I think I knew all along that this is where God was calling me to be, and there was something in me that just wanted God to prove it in a bigger way. But being able to hear that quiet reassurance that he had already told me and I already knew, and he was waiting for me to, in a sense, place my hand in his and just walk forward, I was able to kind of let down my guard. And so I entered our community just 4 months after that retreat in August of 2006.